Okay. Stop whatever you're doing right now. Seriously, pause the scroll, put down the snack, and give me 30 seconds of your attention. Because what you are about to see, it is not what you expected when you clicked on this video. You thought you were getting a fun little compilation, right? Maybe some cute behind-the-scenes moments, a few laughs, some adorable interactions from the in 2026. And yes, you're going to get all of that. But here's the thing nobody warned you about. Shen Yue and Bai are out here acting like full-on moms. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. There is something about these two women, their energy, their instincts, the way they move through a space, that is so naturally warm and nurturing that it almost doesn't make sense. Like, who gave them permission to be this wholesome? Who told them it was okay to walk onto a variety show set and immediately make everyone around them feel like they were being wrapped in the softest, warmest blanket in the world? Nobody. They just did it. Naturally. Effortlessly. And that's exactly what makes this so special. So before we dive in, and trust me, you are going to want to stay for every single second of this. If you are new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button right now because this channel is your new home for the most heartwarming, entertaining, and genuinely joyful content featuring the people you already love. And if you've been here before, you already know what we do. Like the video, share it with someone who needs a little warmth today, and let's get into it together. Now, let's set the scene. The In 2026. A show that, on the surface, is about celebrities running a beautiful countryside in, serving guests, managing chaos, laughing through mistakes, and somehow making it all look charming. But what nobody fully prepared for, what nobody put in the promotional material or the trailers or the press releases, was the completely unexpected, deeply endearing dynamic between Shen Yue and Bai that would unfold the moment the cameras started rolling. Because from the very first episode, something became clear. These two were not just colleagues. They were not just co-stars sharing a screen. The moment they stepped into that in together, some invisible, unspoken agreement seemed to pass between them. A silent understanding that said, we are going to take care of everyone here, and we are going to do it our way. And their way. Turns out their way looks a lot like being moms. Not in a controlling, overbearing way. Not in a way that feels forced or performative. But in that deeply human, incredibly genuine way that only certain people have. Where the caring just radiates off them without them even trying. Where a look can say, "Are you okay?" louder than any words. Where a hand on someone's shoulder carries more comfort than a whole conversation. That kind of mom energy. The real kind. Let's talk about Shen Yue first, because honestly, she might have surprised the most people with this side of herself. We know Shen Yue. We love Shen Yue. We've seen her be bubbly and bright and endlessly charming in everything she does. She has that quality, that rare, luminous quality, where you feel like she's genuinely happy to be wherever she is, genuinely delighted by the people around her. And on the In 2026, that quality takes on a whole new dimension. Because when Shen Yue is around the younger staff members, around the guests who seem a little lost or nervous or overwhelmed, something shifts in her. Her energy softens even further. Her eyes get a little more attentive. And she moves toward people, not away from them. Watch the moment, and this is one of the clips that made everyone stop and rewind, where one of the younger team members is clearly struggling. They've made a mistake, something small but embarrassing, and you can see them starting to spiral a little. Starting to fold into themselves the way people do when they're afraid of disappointing others. And Shen Yue, without missing a beat, without anyone asking her to, simply walks over. She doesn't make a big deal of it. She doesn't draw attention. She just appears. Right there beside them. And the way she says whatever she says in that moment, the way her voice drops into that softer, steadier register, the way she tilts her head just slightly and makes sure the person knows that everything is fine, everything is okay, we're going to figure this out, it is the most mom thing you will ever see on a variety show. Hands down. And the camera catches it. A close-up, just for a second, of Shen Yue's expression, and there is so much in that face. Warmth. Patience. A kind of quiet competence that says I've got you without ever saying a word. Soft background music rises just slightly in that moment, almost like the editors knew exactly what they had captured and wanted to frame it perfectly. And they were right. Because it is perfect. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Here's where the story takes a turn that nobody saw coming. Because Bai Lu, our sophisticated, sharp, endlessly captivating Bai Lu, turns out to have mom energy of an entirely different flavor. And the contrast between her style and Shen Yu's style is what makes their dynamic so completely irresistible to watch. If Shen Yue is the mom who wraps you in a hug and tells you everything is going to be okay, Bai Lu is the mom who crosses her arms, gives you the look, and says, "I told you this would happen, didn't I? Didn't I say? Come here. Let me fix it." She is the mom who scolds you because she loves you, who pretends to be exasperated but whose eyes are full of warmth, who sighs dramatically at your mistakes and then immediately helps you correct them. That is Bai Lu on the in 2026, and it is an absolute gift to witness. There is a moment, brace yourself because this one will get you, where something goes slightly sideways in the kitchen. Not dramatically, not catastrophically, just one of those small in-running moments where plans meet reality and reality wins. And Bai Lu's reaction is everything. You see it happen in stages. First, the very slight widening of her eyes. Then the measured exhale. Then she turns, and the way she turns, slowly, with complete composure, like someone who has mentally already fixed the problem and is now just handling the emotional aftermath of it, is genuinely iconic. She walks over. She assesses. She starts directing with this incredibly calm, slightly theatrical authority that is somehow both hilarious and deeply reassuring at the same time. And the people around her. They immediately relax. Because Bai Lu being in charge feels safe. It feels like someone has taken the wheel, and even if she's muttering under her breath about how this could have been avoided, you know she's going to steer you through it. Every single time. And that's the magic of it. That's what makes these two women, together, such extraordinary television. Because their energies are complementary in the most beautiful way. Shen Yue brings the softness. Bai Lu brings the structure. Shen Yue will hold your hand while you figure it out. Bai Lu will make sure you actually figure it out. Together, they create this incredibly complete, incredibly nurturing atmosphere that wraps around everyone in their orbit like, yes, like exactly what we said, like having two moms who somehow balance each other perfectly. Now, the moments where they interact directly with each other, that's where the magic truly peaks. That's where you want to have your phone ready to screenshot, because the expressions, the glances, the small wordless communications that pass between Shen Yue and Bai Lu are the kind of thing that friendships are actually built on. The kind of shorthand that only develops when two people have genuinely connected, when they've built enough trust and comfort with each other to communicate in a language that doesn't require words. Watch the way Bai Lu looks at Shen Yue when Shen Yue does something unexpectedly capable. There's this flash, quick, almost too fast to catch, of pure delight and pride in Bai Lu's eyes. Like she's thinking, yes, that's her, that's my person, look at her go. It lasts maybe 2 seconds. But it says everything. And Shen Yue, for her part, has this completely endearing habit of seeking out Bai Lu's reaction to things. Subtle, unconscious maybe, but it's there, a quick glance over her shoulder after a moment goes well, as if Bai Lu's approval is the thing that makes it feel complete. They are, in the most genuine and unscripted way, each other's people. And watching that unfold in real time, across the backdrop of a beautiful inn and the delightful chaos of hosting guests and learning new things and navigating unexpected challenges, it is just wonderful. It is the kind of content that reminds you why you love watching real people being real with each other. There is another moment, and this one has layers, this one deserves a slow replay, where a guest seems a little overwhelmed. Maybe it's been a long journey, or they're feeling out of place, or the energy of the inn is a little much in that particular moment. And without any coordination, without any conversation, Shen Yue and Bai Lu both notice. You can see it happen simultaneously. Two pairs of eyes landing on the same person, reading the same situation, arriving at the same conclusion at the exact same time. And then they move. Not dramatically. Not in a way that draws attention to the guest's discomfort. Just smoothly, naturally, one from one direction and one from the other, like they've been doing this together for years. What follows is a masterclass in hospitality and human warmth. Shen Yue engages the guest directly. Light, easy, drawing them in with that radiant smile that makes everyone feel like they're the most welcome person in any room. And Bai Lu, just slightly behind, orchestrates the surrounding environment. A quiet word to staff, a small adjustment, a subtle shift in the atmosphere of that space, so that by the time the guest fully settles, everything around them feels effortlessly comfortable. It was a team effort. An instinctive, unspoken, perfectly executed team effort. And neither of them made a single comment about it afterward. They just moved on, back into the flow of everything else, like it was the most natural thing in the world. Because for them, it was. And that's the thing that keeps hitting you over and over, as you watch more and more of their interactions on this show. It's not just that they have good instincts for people. It's that they use those instincts generously. They extend them outward, toward everyone around them, without keeping score, without seeking recognition, without making it into something bigger than it is. They just care. Actively, visibly, practically. They just keep caring, in small ways and large ones, and that care accumulates into something that feels really significant by the time you've spent a full episode with them. There is also, and we cannot skip this part, the absolutely iconic playful side of their mom energy. Because this is not all softness and gravity. Oh no. These two are funny. They are genuinely, naturally, effortlessly funny together. And the humor that emerges from their nurturing dynamic is some of the most joyful content the show has produced. Picture this. One of the team members does something slightly chaotic, the exact kind of lovable, well-meaning disaster that variety shows are built on. Anne Bailu's response is to turn to Shinyu with an expression that says, "Are you seeing this?" with her entire face. Eyebrows raised. Lips pressed together. Eyes full of barely contained laughter. And Shinyu, because she is perfect, responds with an expression that says, "I am seeing this and I am choosing to remain calm," while also clearly not remaining calm at all. And they hold that shared look for just a beat too long, which is what tips it into pure comedy. The silent conversation they're having is louder than anything anyone around them is saying. And then they both, slightly staggered, break. Small smiles first. Then actual laughter. The kind that they're clearly trying to contain because they are responsible adults who are supposed to be in charge but are absolutely losing the battle with their composure. That kind of moment. That is the heart of this show for so many viewers. That is the thing that makes people come back, episode after episode, not just for the beautiful setting or the charming guests or the interesting tasks, but for these two women and the genuine, warm, hilarious, tender dynamic they've built together. And it keeps building. As the show goes on, as the episodes unfold, you can see the comfort level between them deepening. The jokes get more layered. The silences get more comfortable. The moments of care get softer and more instinctive. There is one scene, near the middle of the season, where things have gotten a little tiring, a little overwhelming, where the IN's demands are starting to add up and you can see the fatigue starting to show on everyone's faces, where Shinyu and Bailu end up together in a quieter moment. Just the two of them, briefly, while everything else keeps moving around them. And there's very little dialogue. A few words, maybe. But the energy between them in that moment is so completely easy, so completely trusting, that it almost takes your breath away a little. Because that is a rare thing to capture on camera. That specific kind of ease, the kind that only exists between people who have genuinely come to rely on each other, who have moved past the performance of friendship into the actual thing. You see Bailu glance at Shinyu and something in her posture releases just slightly, like she's exhaling something she's been holding. And Shinyu looks back, and her smile in that moment is quieter than her usual one, warmer, the one she keeps for the people she's actually comfortable with. And they don't need to say anything, because everything is already said. It is a 10-second moment that feels like an entire conversation. And the music behind it, soft, barely there, just enough to hold the emotional space, makes it feel like something precious. Something real. And it is. This is why people watch content like this. Not just for the entertainment value, though that is absolutely here in abundance. But because in a world that can feel very loud and very sharp and very demanding, there is something deeply comforting about watching people be genuinely good to each other. About watching warmth and care and humor and trust play out in real time, between real people, with no script telling them to do it. Shinyu and Bailu on the In 2026 offer that. Consistently. Beautifully. In a way that makes you feel, somehow, like things are going to be okay. Like you're being taken care of. just by watching. And that is a gift. An actual, genuine gift. And we are so grateful they gave it to us. Now let's talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough. The way these two handle the moments when things get genuinely hard. Because the inn is not always smooth sailing. There are moments of real pressure, real tension, real stakes, and those moments reveal character in a way that the easier, lighter moments simply cannot. And what Shen Yue and Bai Lu reveal in those harder moments is perhaps the most compelling thing about them. When the pressure rises, Shen Yue steadies. It is the opposite of what you might expect from someone whose natural mode is warmth and lightness. You might think that when things get stressful, that brightness dims a little. But it doesn't. It shifts. It becomes something more focused, more intentional, still warm, but with a kind of quiet determination underneath it. She becomes the person in the room who refuses to let the panic spread. Not by dismissing the difficulty, but by absorbing it somehow, processing it internally, and then turning back to the people around her with an energy that says we are still okay. We are still doing this. Follow me. And Bai Lu, under pressure, becomes more herself. Which is to say, she becomes clearer, sharper, more precise. The slightly theatrical quality of her everyday authority becomes something more serious, more focused, and in that focus there is a kind of beauty, the beauty of someone who knows exactly who they are and what they're capable of and is drawing on all of it in service of the people around them. She is decisive. She is clear. She does not wobble. And in a moment of genuine stress, that is exactly what everyone needs. Together under pressure, they are extraordinary. Because they don't compete. They don't overlap. They find their lanes instinctively and they work them, and the result is that the people around them feel supported from multiple directions at once, held by Shen Yue's warmth from one side and anchored by Bai Lu's steadiness from the other. It is, genuinely, like having two very good moms handle a crisis. And if you've ever been lucky enough to experience that in real life, you know exactly how it feels. Safe. Covered. Like you can breathe again. As the season heads toward its final stretch, the accumulated weight of all these small moments, all the caring glances and quiet corrections and shared laughter and instinctive gestures of warmth, lands with a kind of beautiful fullness. You realize you've been watching a friendship develop in real time. You've been watching two extraordinary women discover each other across the backdrop of a beautiful, chaotic, heartwarming show and find in each other something genuinely valuable. A kindred energy. A complementary spirit. A person who gets it, who gets them, who moves through the world with the same instinct for warmth and the same commitment to taking care of the people around them. And in their final moments together on camera for this season, and we won't spoil it entirely because you need to feel it fresh, there is something in the way they move, the way they look at each other, the way the whole inn seems to breathe a little differently around them, that feels like a quiet, perfect conclusion. Not an ending, because friendships like this don't end. But a resting place. A moment to look at what was built and feel good about it. You will smile. You might tear up a little. You will definitely immediately want to re-watch everything from the beginning, now that you know how it unfolds. And that, friends, is exactly what we wanted for you when we put this together. We wanted you to feel all of that. To be reminded that warmth is real, that genuine connection is real, that people who care deeply and express that care with grace and humor and consistency are real, and that Shen Yue and Bai Lu are living, breathing, glowing proof of that fact. There is one more thing worth saying before we get to the end, and it is this: the way Shen Yue and Bai Lu treat the people around them on this show, the staff, the guests, each other, everyone who enters their orbit, reflects something important. It reflects a choice. Because warmth, at the level they practice it, is not accidental. It is not just personality, though personality is part of it. It is also a choice. A daily, moment-by-moment decision to show up for people. To notice them. To extend yourself toward them even when you're tired, even when the cameras are rolling and the schedule is full and the demands are stacking up. They make that choice, consistently, throughout every episode. And that consistency is what transforms a collection of nice moments into something that actually means something. Something you carry with you after the episode ends. That is the difference between content that entertains you and content that stays with you. And the in 2026, with Shen Yue and Bai Lu at its heart, lands firmly and beautifully in that second category. It stays. It settles into you somewhere soft and warm, and it reminds you, gently, without making a big speech about it, that. So here is where we land. Here is the end of our story, though truly it is just the beginning, because there is so much more to explore, so many more moments to revisit and appreciate and share. And we will be here, doing exactly that, for as long as you'll have us. If this video made you feel something, and we genuinely hope it did, please hit that like button right now. It is the simplest, most powerful way to tell us that this kind of content matters to you, and it helps us reach more people who need exactly this kind of warmth in their day. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already here, because this is a space built entirely around the moments that make you feel good, the genuine ones, the unexpected ones, the ones that sneak up on you and land somewhere deep. We find them, we celebrate them, and we share them with you. That is what we do here. That is what we will keep doing. Leave a comment below. Tell us your favorite moment from this video. Tell us which interaction between Shen Yue and Bai Lu hit you the hardest. Tell us if you've been watching the in 2026 and which scene made you stop and rewind. We want to know. We want to talk about it with you. Because this community, this space we're building together around content that chooses warmth, that is something we genuinely treasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching until the end. Thank you for being the kind of person who appreciates the quiet, real, extraordinary moments that don't always make headlines but absolutely deserve to be seen and felt and celebrated. We'll see you in the next one. And it is going to be just as good. Maybe even better. Stay warm. Stay subscribed. And don't forget to leave that comment before you go.